Well, I have a very small contribution.
You should introduce yourself.
I am a relative-in-law. I am Norma's husband, and therefore, since Dinah was almost like a second mother, in many ways a much better mother than the first one, you know, I inherited Dinah. When I had the luck, or whatever you want to call it, to happen to marry Norma.
Thank you, Herbert. Well, let's discuss that later.
And if anyone wants to suggest what else one should call it, I'm open to suggestions.
My husband, that's Herbert. Yeah, remember
yes.
Herbert? Yeah, that's Herbert.
And now, there is a story which probably everyone has heard, and Norma actually wrote an account of it, which has some sad parts to it and some funny parts to it, and it's called A Good Laugh. And it tells that when Dinah was 90, her younger son, Jay, decided that it needed to be celebrated, and since he wasn't there, he arranged to have a male stripper come to the house and perform.
Sounded like a good idea at the time.
Now, who would have thought of that except for Jay? So that is both about Dinah, and it's also a little bit about Jay. So the stripper arrives at the door and comes in.
Carrying a pizza box.
Carrying a pizza box with a pretext. And Dinah is a shrewd cookie. And the thing that I remember that Norma quotes is Dinah looking, and there are her friends around. Maybe is there someone?
Peppy was there.
Yeah.
And I think it
Seal was there.
Were you there, Seal?
Ruth was there, I believe.
Yeah. That's it.
No, I don't go that
I think
far
it
back.
was Marsha's sister.
Well,
Marcia, yeah, Ethel.
Ethel was there.
Was Mom there?
No.
In any case, she saw who her friends were and what their interests were, and Dinah is essentially practical. So she looked at this group, and she came to an executive decision, and she said, and these are immortal words that will always be remembered, "Don't strip!"
And I must add to that, Peppy, being of a different vintage from everybody, said, "What's the matter?" She said, "I haven't had a good look and I don't know."
So that, for me, is a lasting picture of what common sense Dinah had. She knew that it wouldn't do any bit of good.
So did he strip?
No, but he was lovely. He danced with the ladies.
He danced with them all, and they felt very embarrassed because they're touching this bare back. And then she's got the problem of calling Jay without hurting his feelings. You see? So what does she, do you remember what she said to you? She said, I said to him, I had a good laugh.
She let me know that it was inappropriate.
Yeah.
At a later time.
Not at that time.
Yeah.
Well, you could always trust her.
Yeah.
She said what she felt, and she didn't put any spin on it at all.
Yeah, and she was never mean-spirited.
No, never mean.
Not a mean thing. No.
I said, well, yeah, you're probably right. It was inapproproate. It was
What
just
did I tell you when you said you were going to do
Yeah,
that?
it just really sounded like a whimsical, fun thing to do
yeah.
at the time.
My
You know?
mom's
What are you going to do
90. I'm going to send her a male stripper.
And I called all these agencies, and I asked them, you know, and what they do, and I got one in, and they said, oh yeah, Chippendale boys.
Oh, I've seen some. Did you see why the closet?
Did you send the medic along?
No, that was a fit.